Picture this. There's a cast iron pan in someone's garage right now, orange with rust and written off as ruined, and a spoonful of baking soda is about to bring it back to life. That same little box in your cupboard does dozens of things you are not using it for. Today we're counting down 35 clever baking soda tricks an Italian Nonna swore by, and number 1 turns tarnished black silver bright and shining again in seconds like a magic trick. Stay for it. Let's get into it. Number 35, tenderizing tough, cheap cuts of meat. A Nonna fed a big family on the cuts nobody else wanted, and this is how she made them tender. Baking soda raises the pH on the surface of the meat, which stops the proteins from bonding tightly and turning to leather as they cook. Sprinkle about a teaspoon over a pound of thin-sliced cheap beef, rub it in, leave it 15 or 20 minutes, then rinse it well and cook as normal. The same slice that used to fight your teeth comes out soft and juicy, and the next one saves your Sunday sauce. Number 34, cutting the acidity in tomato sauce. Some batches of tomatoes are sharp, and the whole sauce ends up sour and biting, so people drown it in sugar to fix it. A Nonna reached for baking soda instead. Because it's a base, the tiniest pinch neutralizes some of the acid and rounds the sauce out. No sweetness, no masking, just a softer, mellower flavor. Stir a single pinch into a big pot. Let it fizz and settle, then taste. Too much turns it flat and a little soapy, so go small. If bringing back these old kitchen tricks sounds good to you, subscribe. We're reviving what Nonna never wrote down. And the next one is hiding in your roast potatoes. Number 33. Getting shatteringly crisp roast potatoes. That glassy restaurant-style crust is almost impossible with plain roasting. A Nonna's trick was a pinch of baking soda in the water she parboiled them in. The alkaline water breaks down the surface of the potato into a rough, starchy layer, and it's that rough surface that crisps into glass in hot fat. Add half a teaspoon to the pot. Boil the potatoes for about 10 minutes. Drain them and shake them hard to rough up the edges, then roast. The outside shatters and the inside stays fluffy, and the next one softens what used to take all day. Number 32. Softening dried beans and cutting the gas. Dried beans are one of the cheapest ways to feed a family, but they take forever to cook and they sit heavy afterwards. A Nonna added a pinch of baking soda to the soaking water. It softens the tough skins so the beans cook faster and helps break down the compounds that cause all that gas. A quarter teaspoon in the soaking water for a pot of beans is plenty. Much more than that, and they turn to mush and lose their flavor. Cheaper, quicker, and a lot kinder to everyone at the table. And the next one is your breakfast. Number 31, making fluffier eggs. Scrambled eggs and omelets have a way of turning out dense, flat, and a little rubbery. A Nonna whisked a tiny pinch of baking soda into the beaten eggs first. It reacts and releases little bubbles of carbon dioxide as they cook, and those bubbles lift the eggs and keep them light, soft, and cloud-like. Just a small pinch for 3 or 4 eggs, beaten in right before they hit the pan, and cook them low and slow. The difference between flat and fluffy is smaller and cheaper than you'd ever think. And the next one is the secret behind her caramelized onions. Number 30, caramelizing onions in a fraction of the time. Properly caramelized onions, deep and sweet and jammy, normally take the best part of an hour of patient stirring. A Nonna quietly cheated with a pinch of baking soda. Raising the pH speeds the browning right up, so onions that would take 45 minutes go soft and golden in 15. Add a pinch to the pan with a knob of butter and keep them moving. Go easy. Too much turns them to a mushy, soapy paste. Half the time, and every bit of the flavor. And the next one is at the boil. Number 29. Peeling boiled eggs without the fight. We have all stood at the sink shredding a hard-boiled egg, losing half the white with the shell. A Nonna added half a teaspoon of baking soda to the boiling water. It raises the pH just inside the shell, which loosens the membrane away from the white so the shell slips off in 1 or 2 clean pieces. Half a teaspoon per pot of water, in from the very start before the eggs even go in. No more craters, no more swearing before breakfast, and the next one cleans the very food you're about to eat. Number 28. Washing your produce properly. A quick rinse under the tap does far less than people think. Much of the residue on your fruit and vegetables just stays put. A Nonna soaked hers instead, and a spoon of baking soda in the water does what plain water can't. It helps lift some of the surface pesticide residue that a rinse leaves behind. A teaspoon in a big bowl of cold water. Let it soak for a few minutes, then rinse and dry. Cleaner produce for the cost of almost nothing. Subscribe and cook along with us as we bring back the old ways. And the next one moves us to the sink. Number 27. Scrubbing baked-on food off pots without a single scratch. When something's welded to the bottom of a pan, people reach for a harsh scourer that scratches the metal. A Nonna made a paste of baking soda and a little water instead. It is abrasive enough to grind burnt-on food loose, but soft enough that it will never scratch stainless steel or enamel the way steel wool does. Spread the paste thick over the mess. Leave it 20 minutes to soften the crust, then scrub it with a cloth or a soft brush. The gunk lifts away and the pan stays smooth and shining, and the next one tackles the worst job in the whole kitchen. Number 26. Cleaning the oven overnight with no fumes at all. Shop oven cleaner is harsh, choking stuff that fills the whole kitchen with fumes and warnings. A Nonna never let a can of it in the house. She mixed baking soda and water into a thick paste, spread it all over the greasy inside of a cold oven, and simply left it overnight. By morning, the paste had loosened all the baked-on grease, and it wiped away with a damp cloth. No gloves, no fumes, no expensive spray. And the next one is the door you can never see through. Number 25. Making the oven glass clear again. That brown baked-on film on the oven door looks permanent, so most people give up and stop looking through it. It is not permanent. A Nonna spread a baking soda paste straight onto the cool glass, left it about 15 minutes, then scrubbed it gently with a cloth. The mild abrasive lifts the scorched-on layer without scratching or clouding the glass underneath. A wipe and a rinse, and you can watch your bread rise through a clear window again. And the next one is the trick on the thumbnail, the one that brings the dead back to life. Number 24. Rescuing a rusted cast iron pan. This is the one on the thumbnail, and if you clicked for it, here it is. People find a crusty, orange, rusted-out cast iron pan at the back of a cupboard or at a flea market and decide it is finished. It almost never is. A Nonna made a thick paste of baking soda and water, spread it over the rust, and scrubbed hard with a stiff brush or a balled-up piece of foil. The gentle abrasive lifts the rust straight off the solid iron underneath. No harsh chemicals needed. Then she rinsed it, dried it completely over the flame so not one drop of water was left to start the rust again, and rubbed a thin layer of oil in to re-season it. That dead orange lump comes back a smooth, black, non-stick working pan that will outlive you. Cast iron practically never truly dies, and a single box of baking soda is all it takes to prove it. And the next one brings a dull sink back to life. Number 23, bringing a dull stainless sink back to a shine. Grease and hard water spots leave a stainless sink gray, streaky and tired, no matter how much you rinse. A Nonna sprinkled baking soda straight onto the damp metal and scrubbed along the direction of the grain with a cloth. It polishes the film and grease away without scratching the steel, and a final rinse and buff leave the whole thing bright. 2 minutes of work, and the sink looks like the day it was fitted, and the next one is hiding between your tiles. Number 22, whitening grubby grout, the safe way. The lines of grout between your tiles slowly go gray and grubby, and most people attack them with vinegar or another acid, which quietly eats the grout away and lets water get in behind the tiles. A Nonna used a baking soda paste and a stiff brush instead. It is abrasive, not acidic, so it lifts the dirt out of the grout without dissolving the grout itself. Spread it, scrub it, rinse it. It is the safe opposite of the acid mistake so many people make on the exact same job. And the next one is in your morning mug. Number 21, scrubbing the stains out of your favorite mug. That stubborn brown ring of tea or coffee inside a well-loved cup simply will not wash off with soap and water. A Nonna dipped a damp cloth into a little baking soda and rubbed the inside of the mug. The gentle abrasive lifts the tannin stain right off the glaze without scratching it, where soap just slides over the top. A quick rub and a rinse, and a mug you thought was permanently stained looks new again. And that is the whole secret of a Nonna's kitchen, a handful of cheap staples doing the work of a cupboard full of products. I wrote every one of them down, the kitchen tricks and the pantry and home secrets, all collected in Nonna's handbook, and the link is in the description below. Now, number 20, getting the smell of cooking off your hands. Number 20, getting garlic, onion, and fish off your hands. You chop for an hour, and the smell clings to your hands all evening, no matter how much soap you use. A Nonna rubbed her wet hands with a spoonful of baking soda as though it were soap, then rinsed. It neutralizes the smelly compounds at their source, instead of just covering them with perfume the way hand soap does. A few seconds under the tap, and your hands smell of absolutely nothing. And the next one clears the smell out of your fridge. Number 19, killing the smell inside your fridge. You open the door and everything smells faintly of last week's leftovers, and it starts to creep into the butter and the milk. A Nonna kept a small open bowl or box of baking soda on a back shelf. It does not perfume the air. It actually absorbs and neutralizes the odor molecules drifting around in there, which is why an open box works and a spray only masks. Leave it open at the back and swap it for fresh every month or so. Cheap, silent, and it works while you sleep. And the next one lifts baked-on grease off your trays. Number 18, lifting baked-on grease off metal baking trays. Sheet pans build up a brown varnished layer of old grease that ordinary washing won't shift. A Nonna made a paste of baking soda with a little water, spread it thick over the worst of the stains, and left it to sit before scrubbing. The mild abrasive and the alkaline work together to break the baked-on grease down so it finally lifts away. Rinse it off, and the tray comes back, far closer to new than you would ever believe possible, and the next one freshens the whole floor. Number 17, freshening a tired carpet or rug. A carpet holds months of smells you've stopped noticing yourself, until a visitor walks in. A Nonna sprinkled baking soda generously over the whole rug, worked it in lightly, and left it at least 15 minutes to draw the trapped odor up out of the fibers, then vacuumed every bit of it away. It pulls the smell out from deep in the pile instead of laying a scent on top of it. And the next one is the fastest clean in the house. Number 16, cleaning the microwave in 2 minutes flat. Splattered, baked-on food inside the microwave is one of the most miserable things to scrub by hand. A Nonna's way used steam and did the work for her. Put a bowl of water with a spoon of baking soda in it inside the microwave and run it hot for 2 or 3 minutes. The steam softens every splatter while the baking soda kills the smell. Then just wipe the inside out with a cloth dipped in the same solution, and it comes clean with almost no effort. And the next one is the board you cook on every day. Number 15, deodorizing a wooden cutting board. A board that has chopped garlic, raw onion, and raw meat holds those smells deep down in the grain, where a quick wash never reaches. A Nonna scattered baking soda over the damp board, scrubbed it in well with the cut side of a lemon or a brush, and rinsed. It scours the surface clean and neutralizes the odors at the same time, without waterlogging the wood the way a long soak would. You get a fresh board with no ghost of last night's onions, and the next one clears a slow, smelly drain. Number 14, freshening a slow, smelly kitchen drain. A kitchen drain builds up a greasy film inside the pipe that both smells and slows the water down. A Nonna poured half a cup of baking soda straight down it, then followed it with a whole kettle of boiling water. The baking soda scours and deodorizes the inside of the pipe, while the boiling water flushes the loosened grease on through. Do it once a week, and the drain stays sweet and quick, with none of the harsh chemical drain cleaners. And the next one is on your walls. Number 13, rubbing crayon and scuff marks off the walls. Children with crayons and furniture, dragged along a hallway, leave marks that look like they need a full repaint. A Nonna put a little baking soda on a damp cloth and rubbed the mark gently. The soft abrasive lifts the crayon wax or the black scuff up off the paint, without taking the paint itself with it. Always test a hidden corner first, then watch a mark you were sure was permanent simply disappear, and the next one is in your laundry. Number 12, boosting your laundry and softening hard water. In a hard water area, detergent struggles and clothes and towels come out stiff, gray, and never quite fresh. A Nonna added half a cup of baking soda to the wash, along with her usual detergent. It softens the water so the detergent can actually do its job, and it helps lift stubborn odors out of the fabric that a normal wash leaves behind. The same scoop of detergent suddenly does far more, and your towels come out noticeably softer, and the next one heads out the back door. Number 11, keeping the ants out of the kitchen. When ants come marching in across the floor, most people reach for poison spray to use near their own food. A Nonna laid down a line of baking soda across the spot where the ants were getting in instead. It disrupts the scent trail they follow and deters them from crossing, with no poison anywhere near where she cooked. Lay it along the threshold or the crack they are using. Cheap, safe around the kitchen, and no chemicals near the plates. And the next one is out among the paving stones. Number 10, knocking back the weeds in the cracks. Weeds force their way up through every crack in a path, a patio, or a driveway. A Nonna swept baking soda down into the cracks and packed it in. The high concentration of it draws the moisture out of the little weeds and stops new seeds from taking hold in exactly the spots you never want anything green. Sweep it into the gaps and top it up now and then. No weed killer drifting anywhere near the vegetable garden she fed the family from. And the next one is for the tomatoes themselves. Number 9. Sweetening the soil for the tomato patch. Tomatoes grown in very acidic soil can come out sharp and biting instead of rich and sweet. A Nonna would scatter a little baking soda on the soil around the base of the plants, not on the plant itself, to gently lower the acidity over time. Test your soil first and go light. This is a small nudge, not a heavy dose, and too much will do harm. Done gently, you get sweeter, mellower tomatoes off the very same plants. And the next one gets stubborn labels off. Number 8. Removing sticky label residue for good. Peel a price sticker off a jar, and you are left with that gummy gray smear that resists soap, nails, and scrubbing alike. A Nonna mixed baking soda with a little cooking oil into a soft paste, rubbed it over the residue, and left it a few minutes before wiping. The oil dissolves the sticky glue, while the baking soda gives it just enough grit to scrub the whole lot away. The jar comes off perfectly clean, ready to be reused for the next batch of something. And the next one saves a badly burnt pot. Number 7. Saving a scorched, black-bottomed pot. You forget a pot on the heat, and the bottom scorches into a solid black crust. Do not throw it out. A Nonna covered the burnt bottom with an inch of water, tipped in a few spoons of baking soda, and brought it to a gentle boil for about 10 minutes. The heat and the alkaline together loosen the carbonized layer so it lifts off with a wooden spoon. The pot lives to cook another 20 years, and the next one presses your shirts better. Number 6. Cleaning a sticky, dragging iron. Over time, the flat sole plate of an iron builds up a brown, sticky residue that drags across your clothes and can leave marks on them. A Nonna rubbed a baking soda paste over the cool sole plate with a cloth, carefully working around the steam holes and never into them, then wiped it all clean. The mild abrasive lifts the burnt-on residue so the iron glides smoothly again, gentle and careful, and it presses like a new one, and the next one is the flask that never smells clean. Number 5. Deodorizing a thermos or a narrow bottle. A flask or a water bottle you cannot fit your hand or a brush into holds a stale, shut-in smell for weeks. A Nonna filled it with warm water and a spoonful of baking soda, screwed the cap on, gave it a good shake, and left it overnight. It scours and neutralizes the inside surfaces exactly where no brush can reach. Rinse it out in the morning and it is completely fresh again, ready for tomorrow's coffee. And the next one could save your kitchen. Number 4. Putting out a small grease fire. This one is safety, and it genuinely matters. If a pan of oil or fat catches fire on the stove, you must never throw water on it. The water flashes to steam and blasts the burning oil everywhere. A Nonna kept a box of baking soda within reach of the stove, and a good handful thrown over a small grease fire smothers it, because the heat makes the baking soda release carbon dioxide, and that gas starves the flames of the oxygen they need. A cheap box of baking soda by the stove is one of the smartest bits of protection in the whole house. And the next one clears the glass you had given up on. Number 3, rescuing a cloudy glass baking dish. A glass baking dish with years of baked-on grease goes permanently cloudy, gray, and greasy looking, and the dishwasher only ever makes it worse. A Nonna made a baking soda paste, spread it over the whole clouded surface, left it about 15 minutes, and scrubbed. The gentle abrasive lifts off the burnt-on film that the dishwasher gave up on, and the glass comes back clear enough to read a recipe through, and the next one clears the air in the whole kitchen. Number 2, clearing cooking smells out of the entire kitchen. Fry a piece of fish or a pan of anything, and the smell hangs stubbornly in the room for the rest of the day and into the next. A Nonna set a small pot of water with a spoonful of baking soda in it to simmer gently on the stove for a few minutes. It neutralizes the airborne odor molecules instead of just spraying a stronger smell over the top of them. The kitchen smells of clean nothing again for the price of a single spoonful. And now, number one, the one that looks like pure magic. Number one, making tarnished silver shine again in seconds. This is the one that stops people mid-scroll because it barely looks real. Old silver, the good cutlery, a chain, a serving dish handed down in the family, goes black and dull with tarnish, and polishing it by hand is slow, filthy, knuckle-scraping work. A Nonna did something that looks like a magic trick instead. She lined a bowl with aluminum foil, laid the tarnished silver on the foil so the two were touching, poured over boiling water with a few good spoonfuls of baking soda stirred in, and simply watched. Within seconds, the black tarnish begins to lift off the silver and cling to the foil instead, because the baking soda, the foil, and the hot water set off a reaction that pulls the tarnish away and hands you back bright, shining metal. No scrubbing, no polish, no aching wrists. You reach in and lift out a spoon that was jet black a minute ago, and it gleams like new. It is the closest thing to real magic that a kitchen cupboard holds, and it is the perfect note to end on. So there they are, 35 things one cheap little box of baking soda can do, most of which we have quietly forgotten. That was the real genius of a Nonna's kitchen. Not a cupboard full of products, but a handful of cheap staples and the knowledge to use them. Nothing here costs more than pennies, and every one of these tricks was passed from hand to hand until, somewhere along the way, we stopped passing them down. If that rusted pan coming back to life amazed you, everything about cast iron, how to season it, how to rescue it, and the myths that quietly ruin it, is in the video on your screen right now. Go and watch that one next. Subscribe, and let's keep bringing back the tricks the world was starting to forget.